Hello, est friends. In this episode, guys, we're going to recap the plot of an action movie from the UK. This film tells the story of a war veteran who goes on a mission to hunt down the people responsible for his daughter's death. Together with his comrades, he sets out on a path of revenge. Released in January 2025, the movie received a rating of 4.5 out of 10 stars on IMDb. So guys, make sure you're in your most comfortable spot, and here it is, the storyline of Sunray, Fallen Soldier.
Sorry.
The movie opens with a group of men moving a stash of narco boy from a van. To avoid detection by the police, they hide the drugs inside watermelons. The stash is then taken to a lab, where it's repackaged into smaller packets for distribution. However, without their knowledge, a group of heavily armed individuals is seen approaching the location. 3 of them carefully infiltrate the building while one stays outside, positioned with a sniper rifle. It seems they've come to eliminate the drug dealers. Armed to the teeth and equipped with tactical combat skills, they begin their mission.
Echo 4, this is Echo 1.
Echo, you're clear on green 1. Over. What was that?
Pissing about, passes that. Hurry up. Sentry 1, radio check over.
2, radio check over.
Position 5, radio check over. Yes, aren't we leaving now?
After successfully taking down the target, they interrogate one man who is still alive. We're then introduced to a British war veteran named Henry Coleman, also known as Andy. Andy pulls out his phone and asks the man where he is, but the man refuses to answer, prompting Andy to instruct his teammate, Slates, to finish him off. His teammate, Smuts, asks, if what we're looking for isn't here, then what should we do now? Take the money and burn this whole place down, Andy replies. Upon hearing that, the sniper, Harper, starts packing up, ready to leave. They then move the drugs onto the floor, pour gasoline over them, and set the place on fire. The scene then flashes back to 9 days earlier. Andy is living alone in his camper van, far away from any populated area. It's revealed that he is a former British Armed Forces war veteran. He suffers from mental health issues and frequent nightmares due to traumatic experiences, PTSD from his time in active military service. Because of this, he chose to isolate himself, leaving behind his wife and daughter. To make ends meet, he works at a local convenience store. To manage his PTSD and mental struggles, he regularly consults with a psychiatrist named Johan. Johan tells him, I see a lot of pain. Hiding it doesn't help. You have every right to be angry. You don't have to suffer alone. Johan encourages him to reconnect with family and close friends. Hearing this, Andy begins to recall his time in Afghanistan, serving alongside Herbert and Smuts.
Nice position, so we could. 0, this is Echo 1. No.
No. I think it's just a kid. Up and got a weapon? Here.
Got support on the way.
Keep an eye on that.
In the next scene, we're introduced to Andy's ex-wife, Elaine, and the daughter, Russell. Elaine is angry at Russell for frequently going out and hanging around boys she doesn't know. But Russell snaps back, accusing her mother of being too controlling over her life. She then storms out of the house to meet up with her boyfriend, Cass. The two head over to pick up a package from one of Cass's friends' houses. It turns out the package contains drugs. Naturally, Russell is furious when she finds out, but Cass quickly explains that he's not a user. He's just a courier delivering packages for high pay. Cass tells Russell that he'll be away on a job out of town for 2 weeks. This upsets Russell even more, especially when Cass explains that his father doesn't allow him to bring a phone during such trips. Still, Cass reassures her that everything will be fine and promises to come back as soon as the job is done. They then head over to deliver the package to one of Cass's friends. There, a party is already underway, and people are openly using drugs. Suddenly, Cass tells Russell he has to leave. His colleague Eva has arrived to pick him up for his out-of-town assignment. He asks one of his friends to look after Russell and make sure she gets home safely. After Cass leaves, someone offers Russell drugs and urges her to try it. She refuses, saying she's afraid her father, Andy, would be furious if he ever found out. But they mock her, calling her Daddy's little girl. They continue pressuring her, saying things like, "It's safe, just for fun. You'll feel like you're floating in the clouds." Eventually, overwhelmed by peer pressure, Russell gives in and tries it. But after just a few inhales, she suddenly starts coughing and collapses, losing consciousness.
Do not judge a biography not by the number of pages in it, by how it lifts and enriched your life. Is it endless?
I thought you'd quit the things tomorrow.
After his daughter's funeral, the sadness was clearly visible on Andy's face. He then went into Russell's room, smelled his clothes, and found Russell's phone with a notification from Cass. Andy could only read the message through the pop-up preview since the phone was locked with a password. Seeing the message from Cass, he immediately left the house and returned to his camper van. Messages from Cass kept coming in, asking about Russell because he hadn't replied. Cass then sent a location pin to her friend's house and asked Russell to meet her there. Seeing this, Andy quickly got dressed and grabbed a nail gun from his tool shed. It seemed he was going to find Cass and take revenge.
What's up, man? You good? Yeah, man.
Meanwhile, Cass arrived at her friend's house. Of course, her friend was surprised. Cass was supposed to take a few days off to rest after Russell's death. "Don't joke around," Cass said. Cass had no idea that Russell was dead. He overdosed. The stuff he used was bad, her friend explained. "That's nonsense. Russell never did drugs," Cass snapped. Fueled by emotion, she attacked her friend, blaming them for not taking care of Russell. After that, she stormed out. As she was walking away, it turned out Andy had just arrived and crossed paths with her. But neither Andy nor Cass recognized each other. Without a word, Andy went straight into action.
Alright, okay.
Where is he?
Please.
Centurion.
Just as she was about to be executed, Smuts and his crew arrived to save her. On the way back, Smuts asked Andy what kind of trouble he was involved in. But Andy refused to tell him. He said he would handle everything on his own. Smuts replied, "Everything's already happened. Not every moment and decision was yours alone. You can't blame yourself for Russell's death. You're getting older, Andy, it's time you retired." Back at his camper van, Andy cleaned himself up and warmed up outside. Then Elaine called, as she always did, checking in on him. Andy asked her about the password to Razel's phone, since he couldn't unlock it. After she told him, he quickly unlocked the phone and saw Cass's face. In that moment, he remembered, he had crossed paths with her before. In the next scene, Cass is picked up by Eva, who also expresses her condolences over Razel's death. But Eva tells her, "It wasn't your fault. He took some bad drugs. But his death wasn't just an overdose." She goes on to explain, "Someone tampered with your father's drugs. It turns out, the drugs Razel used, and the ones Cass had been delivering, belonged to her father. And now, someone is out there targeting her father's product, stirring up serious trouble." Back to Andy at a bar. He was hanging out with his old buddies. While there, he found himself reminiscing about their time serving in Afghanistan. He remembered the war, how intense it was, and how one of their comrades was shot and killed in action. They raised the glasses in a toast to all the brothers they'd lost on the battlefield. Later, while playing pool, Smuts asked Andy if he had found the drug supplier responsible for Russell's death. "I haven't found them yet," Andy replied. "I'm still looking." Hearing that, his friends were fired up and eager to help Andy finish what he started. Together with Harper, Andy went to meet a man named Leon to purchase some weapons. As Andy held one of the guns, Leon warned him, "Kalen won't like it if you just walk away like this." Naturally, Andy asked, "Who's Kalen?" "You don't get it," Leon said. "You've tangled yourself up in a drug cartel now." Leon then told Andy to leave. He didn't want to get involved in any of this. After Andy left, Leon tried to call Kalen, but Andy suddenly came back in.
Is
In the next scene, Eva and Cass stop by a convenience store. But suddenly, they're ambushed and captured, then taken to a remote mining site. It turns out, they've been caught by Kalen and his men. Kalen is one of Cass's father's most trusted associates in the drug business. He tells them that Cass's father and Eva have been accusing him of tampering with the drugs that killed Razel. But that's not true, Kalen insists. "It was your father and Eva who ruined those drugs," Kalen says. He claims they've been spreading false rumors to frame him and push him out of the business. Though he has no idea why Cass's father would betray him like that. And then, suddenly, after managing to escape, Cass's vehicle broke down in the middle of the road. Not long after, her father's men arrived to pick her up. Meanwhile, back with Andy and the others, they discovered that Eva was still alive, though barely hanging on. Smuts tried to help her, asking where Cass had gone. With her last bit of strength, Eva told them that Cass went to the drug lab and gave them the address. Without wasting time, they headed straight to the drug lab, just as Eva had said. After taking out all the enemies at the drug lab, they realized Cass wasn't there. "That girl, Eva lied to us," Andy said. "Cass was never here." They quickly left the place. Back to Cass. She confronted her father, Lucien, and asked him what was really going on. "You tampered with your own product. That's what led to Razel's death," Cass said. "Razel's death had nothing to do with me," Lucien replied firmly. Lucien explained that he had actually warned Cass to stay away from Razel, because their relationship could lead to complications and negatively impact his business. He admitted that framing Kalen had been intentional. He feared Kalen was trying to take over leadership of the operation. "Kalen is dangerous," Lucien said. "He needed to be taken out. Then why did you have your men pick me up and bring me here?" Cass asked. You should be thanking me, Lucian answered. I brought you here for your own safety. I'm your father. I'll protect you. Lucian knew what had happened at Cass's friend's house. How Andy had come and taken out everyone. You took Rachel away from her father, he said. And now her father and his crew are hunting you. They're going to kill you. Back at his camper van, Andy received a voicemail from his ex-wife, Elaine. In the recording, Elaine said she was hiding. Lucian's men had come looking for Andy. When they couldn't find him, they shot her. And then, suddenly, Andy was attacked by Lucian's men, but he managed to take them down. Harper then showed up and urged Andy to get out of there immediately. Back to Cass, Lucian told her that his patience with Andy had run out. He insisted that keeping Cass safe was his top priority. That's why he had already ordered his men to track down Andy and kill him. Meanwhile, Andy and his crew were being relentlessly pursued by Lucian's men. A high-speed chase and intense gunfight broke out. After they managed to get away, Harper asked, "How did they find you?" "They captured Elaine, and that led them to me," Andy replied. Then suddenly, Lucian's men returned and resumed the hunt. Another fierce shootout broke out.
Is Elaine? I don't know who she is. Oh.
In the next scene, Lucian receives word that his men have been wiped out by Andy and his crew. Upon hearing this, he orders his men to take Cass away, and he quickly prepares to leave as well. But suddenly, Andy arrives, killing Lucian's guards. He then gets into Lucian's car. Cass can only watch, helpless, unable to do anything. "Glad we finally meet," Lucian says. "My daughter is dead, and your son is the one responsible," Andy replies. "My daughter wasn't involved," Lucian says. "She had nothing to do with your daughter's death. In fact, she was devastated. She blamed herself for what happened." Andy then asks, "Where's Elaine?" "I'm afraid she's already dead," Lucian answers. "And that happened because of you." Hearing that, Andy immediately shoots Lucian, then walks away. Back with his friends, Andy told them that it was done. He didn't kill Cass, but he did kill her father. They then left the place.